Hello everyone, give me a second, I'm setting some stuff up. Oh, sorry. Sorry, 4K. Uh, Genshin just won out in my heart today. You know, haven't been feeling so great.
The All Creator Live Archives. Hello everyone. Please follow the YouTube guidelines. No spamming, no breaking up messages, no fighting. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another day of All Creator Live. I am back playing more Genshin Impact. And today we're going to be doing Farina's story quest. Our photo. Well, you know what? No, I'm not going to say that. Those of you who. I'm going to warn everybody right now. There are a lot of spoilers that are going to be happening because I've already completed the Archon quest, so there's bound to be spoiler related stuff up ahead. And, yeah. Before I get started, I want to thank my newest subscriber. You know who you are. If you want me to give you a shout out in the stream, feel free to post a comment eliciting to such. And yeah, I will definitely do that in the next stream. But yeah, 4K, I'm sorry I'm not playing the Star Ocean game. I think today I'm gonna be playing Genshin. Tomorrow, man, it's really a toss-up because this Thursday, I'm pretty sure I'll have enough to get Super Mario RPG, the remake. So, this Tuesday and Wednesday, one day I want to do Sonic Superstars, and the other day I want to do Star Ocean. But I don't know which day. I don't know if I want Star Ocean to be Tuesday or Wednesday. That's really dependent on how I feel, to be honest. Um, Today I'm feeling a little, you know, I got some bad news at work and it's been kind of giving me the blues all day.
Noobs 4K. Tuesday, please see.
You know what? I might do it Tuesday because since I'm going to be doing since then if I do it on Tuesday then Wednesday I gotta do a Sonic game and then right after that I'll do a Mario game. That'll be pretty funny to see. A Sonic and a Mario game back to back. So yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Tuesday definitely. You know, unless God forbid something bad happens.
Noobs 4K.
Yay. Speaking of which, I saw that you got your PSP 4K. How is it? Have you gotten any games for it yet? Have you tried it out?
Noobs 4K. It came with some bad games.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, you got it for a good price, so of course it's not really going to come with the best games out there, but at least it works. And that way you can test it to see if it works, so that's good. Alright, let's get into the game. Don't want to keep those watching in the archives waiting. Also, if the quality of the stream looks down.
I have JS 32 MB and I can't even update the system software with 32 MB.
Oh no. Right, I remember seeing you say that in the stream. But if I remember correctly, it's oh man, I can't remember what I was using when I had a PSP. Yeah. Well, let me know how it works out, you know?
I need to view a new memory card first.
Oh, right, you also need a memory card, right, because you can't really download anything or save anything without one. And I think the memory cards for the PSP were stupidly expensive because of the way that Sony had that all planned out. That was probably the one thing that everyone was in agreement about, is that everybody disliked the fact that Sony made specific memory cards that you had to use with the PSP. Like you couldn't go and buy a random SunDisk memory card from somewhere for cheap, you know? You had to use theirs. I remember that being a huge issue with the PSP.
I have a 32 MB memory card and I WSNT a 32 GB.
Right. Oh goodness, I was trying to think here. What was I going to say? Shoot. Oh man. Darn, my brain is not working right. But yeah, 4K. I hope that really does work out for you. I did have another question. I just can't remember what it was. I guess I wanted to ask if you were able to find Star Ocean for the PSP, but I guess you wouldn't be able to if you can't use your memory card or anything like that. Darn it. Yeah. Just keep us posted in the Discord.
Noobs 4K. I looked online.
Yeah, that's probably, I mean, that's the only place you could really find anything. Unless you were, I know they're big still in Japan. A lot of,
But there's so many I don't know which honor was the one you were playing.
yeah, the, Japanese markets, you'll find all kinds of stuff PSP related. But I don't know how it is where you're at in Europe, and because the European markets and the Asian markets are two completely separate markets. I don't know if you'd be able to find anything like that there. I mean, in if you were living here in the Americas, I'd be able to help you out because I could look up the same sites that you could, but I know you guys use different operating systems and stuff over there, so I wouldn't be able to help you out with that. Sorry.
Exactly.
Oh, what is this? Misty Dungeons? What the fuck's that? I don't know, but not everything is unlocked yet until tomorrow. So, it has 6 days left. Maybe I'll play this on another day. I don't know. This might not be interesting enough to stream, so maybe forget about it. Check. It just looks like the same stuff as in regular challenges. Alright.
Noobs 4K. But he makes me happy Jason Luke can edit.
Oh yeah, the PSP. They do have a really nice design. I remember when I had my PSP. I still have it. It's just the screen's busted, so that's one thing you gotta be careful of with a PSP, regardless of what model it is. They get screen burn very easily. So try not to stay on one screen for too long. And I believe there are ways of fixing the screen burn without having to really replace the screen or anything like that. The problem I'm having with my PSP screen is just it just doesn't work. Everything is kind of glitched out on the one side. It just needs to be replaced. Yeah, I remember the PSP was the first handheld system to use an oh, I forgot what their screens are called, but because it was like the first ever technology to use that type of screen.
Noobs 4K. Old.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because it was like the first technology to use that type of screen, people weren't that familiar with it. Not even the technicians, so they didn't realize how high they were in on how how easy it is to get screen burn, which wasn't even a thing until then. Because people would start seeing After Effect images on their PSP screens, and they're like, "What the hell is that? And why isn't it going away?" I remember that was a huge thing. Everyone was like, "What is this?" It was the first actual encounter a lot of people had with screen burn. Unless you were super rich and you could afford one of those really high quality televisions that they had back in the 2000s. And I mean, today they're very common and super cheap, but back then they were state of the art and nobody could afford them. But it was the same type of material that the PSP screen was made up of.
Noobs
So
4K.
yeah, it was
Makes
ridiculous.
sense because the guy I bought this one from Jason had its screen and motherboard replaced.
Yeah, usually any PSP that you buy refurbished online will always have its screen replaced because that's the one thing that always needs to be replaced on a PSP. I know that the PSP Go, they fixed that problem with the PSP Go. That doesn't happen with PSP Go. So those who are looking for a nice little handheld to mod, I've heard that the PSP Go is perfect for modding and that it's super easy to mod. So if you're into modding or anything like that, PSP Goes, you could get them. They're pretty cheap. It's just, I wouldn't recommend it for you 4K because
Noobs
what you
4K.
got is way better.
PS Vita is best for mods.
PS Vita is definitely the best, but if you're looking for like something even older than a PS Vita, like maybe you can't afford a PS Vita, then I would definitely recommend a PSP Go. But what you got 4K is perfect. The classic
Noobs 4K.
PSP is so
The
awesome.
PSP overrules the PS Vita software wise.
Yeah, it does. And the fact that it's still that you have
Noobs
like the
4K.
playback stuff.
I intend to mod the PSP also.
Oh, you intend to mod it. Oh. Well, I didn't think you were into any stuff like that. But yeah, good luck with that. Because I don't know squat about modding. I had a friend that knew a lot about modding, and my sister's
Noobs 4K.
PSP bricked.
Playback stuff.
Playback stuff. Oh, what were they called? The UMD discs. They had all kinds of multifunctional abilities, like the ability to play movies and stuff. And
Oops, 4K.
I believe there were also CD
Oh yes.
quality ones. Yeah, there were. I believe there were even like album versions, but I know that someplace, I don't know if this is still a thing or not, if they're still available or if you can find them online, but there were some people who would like take types of rewritten UMDs, like they put a bunch of movies or soundtracks or stuff on the UMDs. There's a whole nother feature to the modding scene with a classic PSP than there is with the Go, because it has the ability to play UMDs. That is really cool, and that's why I still have my PSP, even though the screen's messed up. But yeah, I had a friend who was into modding, and when my sister's PSP bricked, um, because they didn't update and they turned off the PSP or the battery ran out or something while it was updating, and when that happens, it bricks. And I was like, shit, that's it. It's dead. But my friend was like, no, I know how to get it back to working. Cause there's some kind of modding trick you can do with a bricked PSP to get it back to, a version of the update before the one that caused it to brick. And that fixes it. And I'm like, dang. So I was very grateful for that day. But, that's something else you got to watch out for 4K is if you do decide to update, which I don't know, if you want to mod it, I wouldn't think doing a recent update would be a good idea. But while it's updating, you should not let it shut off or run out of battery or anything like that, because it will brick and it will be basically useless unless you know how to do the trick my friend did. I have no clue, to be honest. Me myself, I'm not good technologically with that stuff. But yeah, this is what we're going to be doing today.
4K.
Farina's story mode.
THR difference between little 1000 PSP and 3000 PSP and in between, because I don't know them or which one I have.
I do. I know the difference. The difference between one and the other is that they have a higher quality of OLED screen. And if I remember correctly, the button placement is different because the original PSP that first came out, it was kind of like your. Yeah, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly. I don't know if I'm thinking of the PSP or the PS Vita, but when you positioned your thumbs in a certain way, it would kind of cover up the speakers on the device, And the later series of PSP fixed it to where the speakers are on a different side of the PSP. uh, Also, I believe that the first PSP iteration had a lock function to where if you have the lock feature enabled, none of the buttons will work, so that you can stick it in your pocket and not have to worry about buttons getting pressed.
IX. Hello, Jason.
Hey, how's it going? It's been a while, Vix. Yeah, that's you. Hey, Vix. I hope you like my new setup. I unfortunately had to switch to OBS because Streamlabs did this weird update where I could no longer stream to both Twitch and to YouTube at the same time. So I had to go over to OBS. I had no other choice. It was either that or start paying $20 a month, and I don't want to do that. Screw that. But yeah, this is the new setup. It's not really all that different from the old setup, but
WHST does brick mean and how do I avoid it? THR and now I'm scared.
oh, it's nothing you really have to worry about. It's when you're doing like a software update to the PSP, like their firmware updates, like how the PlayStation 5 or PS4 will have an update to its system. While you're doing that, you want to make sure that your PSP is definitely plugged in and that you don't power it down while it's updating, because that messes it up big time. And they warn you about everything before you do the firmware update, but whenever you see stuff like that, you don't take it that seriously, but it is very serious. When they say do not power it down, do not let the battery run out, they mean it. They 100% mean it, because if you do, it bricks and it won't turn back on. I can't remember what it was like, but I don't think the screen even comes on or anything like that. It just doesn't turn on at all anymore. But you shouldn't worry too much about it. If you're planning to mod it, then I don't know what firmware update you're planning to do, but when you're doing it, just make sure that the battery doesn't run out and that you keep it on while it's doing it.
Noobs 4K. Wait, so do you know which version mine is?
I don't. I have no clue just by looking at it. I can't remember what the two of them were or the difference in their appearance, to be honest.
VIX. I'm sorry, but I have to go. I'll try my best to appear in the next stream.
Oh, it's okay, Vix. It's just nice to have you stop by and say hello. I hope you like the new layout. I do plan on changing it up maybe a little bit, but also I hope the quality looks good. That's what I was going to talk about earlier, 4K. Does the quality of the stream look okay? Because I want to, like, all of the letters on the screen right now, are you able to read them all? Does it all look okay? Because I had to lower the quality a little bit because my last stream got cut up into two, and I figured out why that happens. It's because I'm outputting at a quality too high for the stream itself to handle, and so it cuts them in half.
Yes, size.
Look good? Okay, cool. Oh, also Vic said something.
VIX.
Awesome.
The quality is really good. Don't worry. Bye-bye.
All right, Vix. Have a good day. Thank you again. Oof. Hold up. I want to stretch a little bit. And also take a look at a message I just got, probably from a friend at work. Should probably mute it. There we go. Sorry, it's just a lot of things happened at work later on, or earlier on today, so everybody's kind of up and alert about it. Oh my god, yeah, the stream quality looks really good too. I'm looking at that now.
Time Lords.
Sweet.
Hey Jason, what's up?
Yo, Time Lords! Welcome to the stream. I know the stream doesn't look that different from the way it used to look, but yeah, this is the new setup. I mean, the box that was there isn't there anymore. I took it down the last stream because it seemed kind of annoying. But yeah, I'm going to be playing Farina's story today.
Time Lords. The chat looks better.
Everything does look pretty good. I'm surprised. I even lowered the quality a little bit because my stream ended up getting cut in half last time. But that probably also answers the question I was having when I was having my stream get cut up all those other times before. If I'd have known that was the problem, I probably wouldn't have been streaming at such a high quality. I hope I'm not streaming at too high quality right now. I did lower everything, but, you know. So to those watching in the archives, if the stream suddenly cuts out, you know why. But don't worry, I'll try and hold on to hold on to everything like how I usually do. All right, let's unlock Farina's story and get it started. Oh, that's new. They do this little thing before they get started.
Playing Trials of Mana now, so I won't respond later.
Oh, it's okay, Time Lords. Trials of Mana is a fun game. I mean, you should know. You saw me play it. I played through it several times on the stream. All right, get quest. To yesterday. Go to the Court of Fontaine's Adventurers Guild. All right, cool. Let's go see what Farina's up to, because of everything that happened in the Archon quest. To those who don't want spoilers, you're free to leave right now. But to those that already know what's going to happen, stick around.
Got any new commissions? Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps? Paimon's just being enthusiastic. We're old friends now, she gets it.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and is currently unable to perform the role. But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
Yeah, it's really nice when they add little touches like that. A little shocking sometimes, though, like when I opened up the character menu and it did that vast scenery like it did. I was like, whoa, what the... but yeah, no, a welcome change, definitely.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job. There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
I do believe that there is a difference between the first iteration of PSP and the later versions, so you do want to look into that too, because I think they did have a larger capacity to each one of them as it continued. So if you do plan on getting a new battery for your PSP, you should check which model it is. Since you got the pink one, it shouldn't be that hard to figure out just by looking around online. But yeah, definitely look into that so you can make sure you get the right voltage, the right size, and all that stuff, because they should have model numbers to them that you can look up and try to find on a website like Amazon or something.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there. Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon.
Oh, come on, Paimon. He could just be gassy.
Paimon approves, let's go!
She agrees. Yeah, he looks pretty gassy.
Hello there, are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
What the hell? This guy doesn't sound... It doesn't sound like this is his voice at all. He sounds like he should be like, oh, hey. Something like a Markiplier type voice. Seems like that's what he would have.
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame. That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts. All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe. One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it. Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform. The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas. What if we sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
Please.
More
there's
than
no need to
enough,
go
really.
that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... you know who? That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now. She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous.
Oh, come on. What the hell? She just got out of a horrible relationship where she was stuck for centuries as an actress. And we're gonna just ask her to be a part of the show? That's a little mean, don't you think, there, Aether?
Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Farina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours. Well, yes, but... Huh. Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Farina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. Besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Wait, where does Farina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's, moved out, right?
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Woo! When did you get here?
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed. It is my duty to support commissioners in any way I
Has
can.
Catherine always had black hair?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Farina. Back in a jiffy.
This is weird. Having some kind of Mandela effect right now. I was just looking at her not 10 minutes ago. I don't remember her having black hair. I thought she had brown hair. What's going on? My brain not working right. I mean, granted, the most we've ever seen of Catherine is while we were in Sumeru, and that's been over a year. But still, I talk to her at least once every day, so... Okay. So we go that way. And if I suddenly stop and need to fix my ears, to those wondering, I've said this on the past, I think, 2 weeks worth of streams, but my my old USB headgear that I had, bandana, or what is it? Headband. That's it. Had to combine the two words. My old USB headband it's malfunctioning. It can't hold a charge for more than 2 hours, so it dies in the middle of the stream, and it gets kind of annoying because then I have to unmute my television. And I've been watching the playbacks for quality purposes, and I can definitely hear a slight echo coming from my television, so I really don't like that. It's not an issue of anyone but myself and wanting to have perfection in my streams, but yeah, instead of using that headband, now I've opted to using earbuds that I've had for a long time, and they're very uncomfortable. I hate earbuds, so I need a replacement for them ASAP. But I'm going to try and endure wearing earbuds for as many streams as it takes until I'm able to afford a new headband to stream with. Alright, that's that. So, sorry everyone, just wanted to keep you updated in case you're wondering why I'm suddenly...
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives...
I know. It's honestly not important info. It's just you guys are going to hear me say every once in a while, I need to scratch my ear or something like that, because they're very annoying. I don't know how people deal with these. Like, everybody's using them nowadays. Even my sister uses earbuds, and I'm like, I can't understand how people get used to this. Having this in your ear like that, it feels so unnatural and uncomfortable and itchy. So dang itchy.
I mean the info you gave me.
Oh, about the PSP. I thought you were agreeing with me about the earbud thing. But yeah, it's no problem. I want you to have the best PSP you can have. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I hate earbuds so much. I've been looking into maybe getting a more comfortable pair, like maybe a smaller pair at least. Because someone I know at work had a smaller pair of earbuds, and I didn't realize that they came that small. So I looked into it, and I don't know if I'd like those either, you know? They're just not good for me. I guess it's an issue of person. I've been wearing headphones my whole life, and earbuds just are not a good replacement, that's for sure. Alright, let me get back to the story. Sorry to bother those in the archives.
Not that there's anything wrong with this place, it's just, a bit of a step down from the Palais Marmonia.
You know, It's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
You know, this is actually going to be the first time we, like, legitimately talk to Farina as casual conversation, as a casual conversation. So I'm kind of interested to hear exactly how they talk or get along with each other, because up until this point she's been acting kind of snarky with us and everything, and then with the court case and everything, it just seemed like all we were doing was arguing. You'd feel like we'd be mortal enemies, so I'm very curious to see how this is going to go.
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food, but now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
Yeah, Time Lords. I just don't get it. It's a new popular thing. I guess because big name music companies are pushing them. So the youth is like, I guess this is what's cool. I better buy it. But it's so, I don't get how they can just sacrifice so much just to seem popular, you know? It just seems like A, waste of money, and B, such a huge compromise to your personal life. You know, I've seen so many people have problems with earbuds, and it's made fun of constantly on television and regular YouTube videos and such. Like the whole thing. I remember seeing a video of this guy spotting someone else, and the dude's lifting weights. I don't know what commercial this was, but his earbud fell out of his ear and into the guy's mouth, and he was choking on the guy's earbud. And oh, man, that got me laughing. You don't know how loud, because it's not just the fact that it was, you know, just comically well done. It's just, it could legitimately happen. Oh, man. I don't see how there haven't been lawsuits or anything revolving around earbuds with how easy they are to break and how easy they are to lose and how expensive they are. You think people would be making such a huge stink about how inconvenient they are, but no one is. Nobody is. And it makes no sense to me. All right, back to the game. Sorry, everyone.
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre faucilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad! Yeah, exactly! What the traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
That's not important. We actually came here to ask you for your help.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific?
Wait a minute, if she doesn't have a vision, what's that on her lapel?
I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but
I guess
have
they could
made
just
a
be Jules.
decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I drew a line in the sand without thinking about every possible grain on the other side.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
It's all right, Farina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed. Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. All right, then. We'll see you around, Farina.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Don't know why Paimon didn't foresee that happening. I mean, when my character first said
The value of knowledge cannot simply be
that they
quantified in
wanted to ask
terms.
Farina, I was like, what? No! Why would you ask that with everything she's been through? That's so, that was just rude.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Farina's decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Duh. Sorry, we failed.
Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
Oh, yeah, you know what, Time Lords? You're right. I thought of the wrong word. Rude was just the first thing that jumped into my mind. You're right. It's insensitive. That's what it is.
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troop's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
I gotta reread what you just said because I Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a classic thing that everybody knows about the PSP. I'm surprised you didn't know about it before buying it. But yeah, that was one of the big selling points to the PSP. The PlayStation 3 was about to come out, and they were saying already when that launched, they were like, and when the PS3 comes out, you'll be able to connect to it using this new thing we created called Remote Play. And I thought it was awesome. But it's not as intuitive as you might think it is. There are only a select few PlayStation 3 games that you can play on the PSP. And as long as it's like a PlayStation 1 game or a PlayStation Minis game that's on your PS3, you can play those on your PSP through Remote Play. But a lot of the PlayStation 3 games library is not included on that. And when I say a lot, I mean most of it. There are only a couple of games that utilize Remote Play. Meanwhile, if you want to play literally everything on the PlayStation 3 via Remote Play, a PlayStation Vita, that does that no problem. It also does it for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, believe it or not. I was like, dang, when I heard about the mods for that using Remote Play. But to be honest, even though I could do that with my PS Vita, I instead use my phone because, I mean, it's a lot faster. So, I'd say it's okay if you enjoy playing PlayStation 1 games, and you don't have a lot of space on the PSP to work with, but the PlayStation 3 has all kinds of space. So a lot of times I would say PS1 games. Yeah. So yeah, what I used to do is I would have a whole bunch of PlayStation 1 games on my PlayStation 3, and when I wanted to play them but didn't feel like, turning on my PS3, I just use my PlayStation Portable. So yeah, that's one of the main uses I did with Remote Play. But there are some mods that I think allow you to broadcast PSP games through Remote Play onto your television screen. I think it works that way too. Like, I think there's a reverse mod that allows you to do that.
But you can't buy things on PS3 store anymore, right?
You can. I bought the Ratchet and Clank HD collection, but I think you need to sign in with your account every single time you make a transaction, because I think that allows them to open a gateway ticket that allows you to buy that said item, and then it closes it again. So every time that you go into the PlayStation store, you have to re-sign in every single time you want to buy something, which is annoying, but you can do that still. I don't know how long that's going to last, because I know it's the same way with the PlayStation Vita. They may have already taken it down. I haven't even looked at that, but yeah. You can look that up, because I remember it was either last year or the beginning of this year that I bought the HD collection of Ratchet and Clank.
Noobs 4K.
Yeah.
I actually just bought Portal 2 from PS3.
Sweet. All right, let's continue with the story.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Farina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Farina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day.
I hate to say this, but every time I hear the doctor now, I get worried when I hear that in this game.
I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
Listen, I found someone selling
All's
a
well
custom
that ends well.
PS3.
Sounds like the
Custom
show will go
firmware,
on.
etc. is so modded and it's fully white. It looks so clean.
Sure.
Oh, well, good luck.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list. Alright, I'm coming. No need to drag me.
Jeez. Just like, come here.
Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just
And the
now.
same guy is selling the
Farina?
PS2 I've wanted
Didn't you say you were
forever,
gonna
and it's
take a
in
rest
really
at
good
home? What are you
condition.
doing here?
Sadly, I'm broke, so I have to
I
hope
was
they
just
don't sell
ever
while I
so
get
slightly
money.
concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned, that's all. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Farina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Farina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are
Time
just
Lords.
beyond our control.
Uranus clothing gave
Everything's
her
been
hiding
going
spot away.
downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Farina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength. Things were really looking up for us.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can. But despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart. It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Farina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them? An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before, and so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Huh. Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Alright, I think 4K has a new name for Paimon.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Farina's performances, as of course we all are. Alright, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
Alright, I feel like this is a good time to take a break. I need to use the facilities. Where's that chair that I always sit in? Here it is. I'll sit here and I'll let you guys listen to some music. And I forgot to change the background before I started up the stream, so pay no attention to the background you're about to see. That's going to change.
All creator. It was a nice indie.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think it took a little longer than... no, it took about 20 minutes, maybe. But yeah, sorry. Okay. So... I was watching the stream previews on Twitch, everything looked fine, but... on YouTube, it was at 144p, which is unusual. The weird thing is, once I left and then came back in, it was at 1080, and then it quickly switched over to 144p again. I don't know. So it could be just an issue with my connection because I'm streaming at the same time as doing this, so. Once all this is done, I'm going to watch it on playback, see how the quality is. Because the last stream was great on both sides, YouTube and Twitch. It looked really good, but I was streaming at such a higher quality then. It definitely looked great, but it cut the stream in half, and if that doesn't happen this time, I might stick with this, because I would much prefer the quality be a little bit lower, and to compensate, I don't get a stream that gets cut in half, you know. Oh. Right. I forgot. Over here. You know, into her place. Oh boy, that's pretty small.
Lady Farina?
What's Lady Farina doing here?
Hello, all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Farina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant.
Little
These two
Ocean.
over here are
What
ones
the
that make
hell?
it possible.
Like
They
a
kindly reached out to Miss Farina on our behalf.
child's school
I'm sure
play.
they need no introduction.
You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family. She longed to live just like any other human, and sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect. But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script.
She shut herself into her room and started eating mac and cheese all day.
We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. a lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from 2 of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him.
Time Lords.
The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. If all she could make is mac and cheese, I'd be okay with that. I recently discovered a new love for mac and cheese, so I guess I'm on a different boat.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Farina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago, said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson?
Croissant.
Nothing.
Time Lords.
I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y. To Poisson!
There's a meme in, I think, the VTuber community. I can't remember what community it was. But in the meme, there's a girl talking about croissants. And every time she says the word croissant, there's a little version of something in the background going, croissant. And it's simultaneously the cutest and oddly ASMR thing you'll ever hear. And every time that they say croissant in this game, I just want to say in a tiny voice, croissant. It just, I held back from doing it the entire time during the crisis in croissant. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. Was it Jimmy Neutron? I know Carl Weezer's known for saying croissant in that way, but it's not the same voice actor. It could be someone trying to do a Carl Weezer impersonation. But I don't really know its origin. I just see memes. I don't dig deep into them. Because a lot of times, if you dig deep into a meme, you end up in a place you don't want to be. Alright. Oh, wait. How far away? Oh, right. It's all the way over there. I haven't been taking the boat. Maybe I should do that more often, you know? Take the sea boat. I haven't been doing it. I'm not going to do that. You know, ride the seaboat over and then jump down the hole, but nah. Here we are in Brussels. I'm sorry I took your cabbage. No, I'm not.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
Alright. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Farina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Palo? Looks like you could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
Yeah, this is going to be very awkward. Dude, I feel like Farina's going to have a lot of awkward moments. Literally everybody in town was against her not that long ago. So yeah, this is not going to be a fun time for her.
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Farina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
All right. Sorry, just snacking on some peanuts my sister got me. I can't believe they don't like shelled peanuts. I mean, it is a bit of work, but they taste great.
grateful that Miss Nafia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying
Well, it's very
before,
fitting now.
I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me, which, of course, I completely understand and accept. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
What do you mean by that? You expected me to just keep running and hiding from my responsibility forever?
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Oof. Okay, well, it just keeps getting awkward. We're gonna have to do all kinds of... This is the awkward quest. To my audience over on YouTube, if the video quality looks bad, I'm sorry. If you want, I can provide a link to the Twitch version of this video if you would like to experience a higher quality of the video. That is only if I watch it on playback and see that the quality is low. It could just be an issue on my end where, because I'm streaming it, the quality is low because my bandwidth is struggling.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll, and here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Reward? I guess so. Back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Farina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same. I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now, at least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure! Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Okay. Alright. Every time I look at Spina de la Rosa, I'm oftentimes wondering which end I'm on. And whether or not I should go straight down or just jump off the ship or, you know. It's a boat. This way. I think. Yeah, it's over there. Yep. Just tripping over my feet. Don't worry about me. Oh, it's the area below. Okay, never mind. Whoops. Whee. No, don't die.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking. That's your job.
Yo.
Me right now, it's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again. We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role. Well, the costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
Sorry.
Man, how long has this been going on for? Or did he just decide to wake up one day and eat an entire buffet?
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines, too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, oddly
It's the
familiar.
most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy.
Who the hell is your director?
She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time.
Jesus Christ, her family was like, oh, damn, this kid's sick? Alright, we don't want it, throw it in the trash. That's fucked up. Ouch.
It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director.
Time Lords.
I was a lost
I've
child
seen a lot
too
of
when she
videos
found
of
me.
people disowning their kid.
As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage.
I mean, disowning is one thing, but they were just like, they gave up. Like, they were like, oh man, nope, I don't want this broken child, and just tossed her aside. That's fucked up. That's more than just disowning, you know? Disowning imparts, like, the idea that you're taking away their namesake or whatever, or their ability to be a part of your family. They just, like, dunked her in a trash can from the way it sounded. Jesus Christ. That's just heartless.
The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it. One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah, for the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
The day you hoped would never come. How times change.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Farina.
Farina? The Farina?
Time Lords.
Oh my god,
From what I saw
how did you manage to wrangle
what
that?
happened to her and
Please,
disownment, I'm not sure
the
what
honor
called,
is
but
all
it's part of the
mine.
equation.
I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human, against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it, and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
I feel like the Oceanid near Qingce Village would really like this guy.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me, and perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world, yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me. Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with Aurelie.
What? You kept that one quiet.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life. And now, that day will never come.
Oh, Paulo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by O'Reilly. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Vilmont once and for all, face to face. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything. One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Vilmont.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes. Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
Is that how you spell that? I've always wondered. Probably gonna... yeah. I think this will be shorter. There we go. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, did I get the wood that they have here? Okay, yeah, I've gotten the wood they have here before. Every area has a new type of wood.
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
I could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
Yeah. Just climbing down a mountain. No big deal. It's not like we're climbing up a mountain.
As if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler
Time
here.
Lords.
We don't need to take a detour.
LMSY is let's go in French. I never heard anyone apart from Purina say it in Fontaine.
Wait, why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Farina in a fight before.
Yeah, Time Lords, it is one of those rare things you hear unless you are French, but I've heard it like a million times. I've just never seen it in text form, so.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into Indemnitium. Miss Farina said so herself.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Farina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
I could tell the traveler was was really enjoying
Right
that
now.
moment, so
Right here. I'm always watching.
decided to go along with
Emerge right now.
Farina. And what she
I
said.
hear everything.
Time for retribution!
Oh, there are more. Okay, well.
Emerge, right now. Emerge.
And shroud!
Excuse me.
Let's nip that in the bud. Can't see?
Right here. Emerge. Nothing lasts forever.
Verdict is...
Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
I like that when there's dialogue, they actually mute what the characters say when they're fighting. That is something that they hadn't had before. I remember sometimes it was difficult to hear what they were saying whenever D-Luke would be like, time for retribution. Oh, now we gotta climb back up the mountain. Great. Get these while I'm here, I guess. Oh, here it is.
Vilma, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Farina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone? I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Vilma, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Vilma. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The Little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one. As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe and it wasn't my fault. But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything. Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean, you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her! How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered! She was the love of my life! And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show! How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight! Go! Get lost! I don't ever want to see your face again!
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you! Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured? But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Villemont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star of the show.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that Aurelie left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
Alright, let's go find this place. Oh, okay, well. Guess we don't have to look for very far. This is right here. I thought we were going to, I don't know, from the way she described it, I don't know. I thought we were going into a dungeon or something. Sorry. It's getting late for me. I know it's only 6, but I didn't even take a nap before I started the stream. I just decided to start it up. Running down the hallway. Hey, it's our old friend, Cindy.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now. Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
So, this is all Aurelie left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this tattered old notebook.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vachey's guilt.
Vachey took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this still what you want?
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troupe would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love, and she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
Alright, back to the troop. Sorry, I was reading all that myself, so I didn't skip all of the stuff like I usually do. I mean, at least those of you who were reading along with me didn't have to pause the stream this time. I didn't read it out loud because, you know, sad stuff. It's not easy to read out loud. I'll just take this route to get there. Yoop. Bonk.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance, to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director O'Reilly and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope, just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Farina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. All right, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine?
No, though that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you? I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on, we'll need to get the go-ahead from Nervilette. I know just where to find him.
Oh no! Hold up. This quest location is currently involved in another quest. Please check the details. Okay, let's just... Of course it is. It's a daily quest too. That's the fucked up part about it. I'll do this one. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this one. I don't want to do this. Ah, shit. Fine, I'll do this dumb thing. It's a daily, but whatever. No reason to do it. Alright, what's going on? Oop. Alright, I have no idea what this has to do with what we're doing, but if you guys want to read whatever's going on here, you can go ahead and pause the video and read it. This is just a little circumstantial quest that we have to get through to complete the one that we're on. earbuds so much. Leaves in a hurry. What's going on? Me being all nosy. Oh yeah, I forgot if it's a really long paragraph like sentence, they won't skip ahead. Oh my god, so many of these. Oh, hello there, little one. Oh, I remember this one. Hi. A little detective outfit. So funny to think of these things as police officers. Uh-oh. Okay, that was just my headset. It's because I hit volume up by accident. Didn't mean to. Thought that was something coming from the game itself. I was like, what? Great. Oh man. This is just a daily too. I guess they didn't program it to allow us to skip dailies. Sorry. Sorry everyone for this little detour I have to go on. Over here. Oh. It says it's up. How is it up? No, it is down. Okay. Oh, you know what? It's the waterway right next to it made it look like it was going down. It was an arrow pointing up. Yeah, that's the place. Hello. Again. Blah, blah, blah. Oof. Oh. Change positions. There we go. Hope that didn't mess up anything. Nah, microphone still seems to be going. If there's one thing that is cool about OBS, whenever there's a technical error, it tells me exactly what it is, so I can look up and see what it is. You know, because Streamlabs didn't do that. Whenever there was a technical error, it would just cut off the stream and then not tell me why, and I would be like, what? So, the fact that it told me exactly what kind of an error it was, I was able to look it up and see exactly why it was caused. And because of that, I was able to change some stuff around in the settings. And that's hopefully made things better. It definitely has on Twitch, but I don't know about YouTube. That's the upsetting part. I won't know if it really helped out YouTube until after the stream is over and I can watch the playback. Yeah, right. So, what's the outcome? Did we finish? I know I said this before, but every time I see the little hands, just think they're wearing mitts going, woo. So poofy. I would like to shake their hand. Alright, now we can go about doing the actual quest. Sorry about that. Finish the story up. There he is.
Hey, look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
Our friend.
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, Traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes, and this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them, so I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalette.
You are very welcome.
Okay.
Many people were once enthralled by Lady Farina's performances, myself included. I hope that one day she'll be able to understand that our appreciation was always sincere.
Okay. He's pretty tall. He's about, I'd say Ito's probably still taller. Whee! Uh-oh. Wall. I guess it will be easier just to warp. Oh. We'll say there's none closer? Sorry.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiumali and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Oh, communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing! Even though Farina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up!
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
Yeah, it is pretty nice that they do it, and it's fast. That's what I could say.
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Why does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Farina, I'd like to make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Is she here yet?
When will she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle nourrit, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Farina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on!
Oh, so it was Farina after all.
She's back!
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down, don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that. I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
All right. Okay, so my eyes weren't deceiving me. She was just wearing jewelry. It's interesting that she has two character models, one without a vision and one with a vision. That's not unheard of, though. I'm pretty sure there are a couple other characters that have that. And at least one NPC that has that. Once this is over, I'm going to do the test runs. Try out Farina. I do like that the entire song was in French, though. That's good. Oh. Wait. Oh, okay. Never mind. Just over this way. Oh, wait. I'm gonna have to warp to it, aren't I? Yeah, I forgot how far away the, big stage thing. I don't know. My brain ain't working right. I'm sleepy. God, how far away it was from the city.
you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Farina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
Sorry to hear about your bad luck, Time Lords, but, you know, just keep trying. You still got a couple of days left.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it.
Just to get her.
I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Farina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I'd previously imagined. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all. Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
Ah, okay. Happy ending.
I'm just finishing packing up. As soon as I'm done, I've got an interview with the Steambird to get to. Thanks to all your help, the show was more perfect than we ever could have hoped for. But most of all, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to finally say farewell to O'Reilly.
Oh.
I mean, of course I have some regrets, but
There'll be plenty of opportunities in the future for us to tell the stories that we want on stage.
I'll talk to her last.
Now that the buzz is worn off, I feel ready to pass out.
Okay, guy we haven't met before. It's nice to meet you. Bye. And her, too.
Thank you so much. I feel like I've rekindled the passion I had when I first joined the troupe. It might turn out to be too little, too late for me. But still, this has been the experience of a lifetime.
I'm guessing from her outfit that she's the one who designed the costumes, and from his outfit, he's the one that designed the set pieces. His outfit looks kind of work-related, as in, like, using hammers and tools and stuff, because he has that belt and whatnot, and hers looks more tailor-oriented because of the apron and whatnot. I was actually thinking that maybe those four by themselves did all of this. It didn't seem like that much of a task, you know, to just make some cardboard cutouts and stuff, but they did a lot better. They got a lot more things together.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
I mean, yeah. You should stop by Mondstadt sometime. Alright, well, that was that. Can we go back in? Nope. Once you exit out after the quest line is done, this just becomes another backdrop, a door you can't go into. Kinda creepy. They're still locked in there! Oh my god! Let them out! It's a one-way door. Alright, let's go up to my spot and well, first off, collect my stuff, and then I'll do the trials.
Ad Astra Abyssos.
Try out all the characters.
Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
In more way than one, actually. I did one commission as well as my daily commissions. To my seat. Boop. And there we go. Test runs. First up, Farina. Alright, let's see. What do we got? Alright, well, she's a sword user. What is that? That's a different type of... Oh, I guess it's like an AoE kind of attack where it damages everyone around you. That's neat. This would be a good way to get a bunch of bad guys off of you. Hey, there's a little creature. I don't know who you are. And when you do that near it, turns into a bunch of little creatures. Minions. Little tiny minions. I like that. Guess they help you fight. That's cute. Alright, well, let's come out and see. And when you just tap it, all three of them come out. Whoa, okay, cool. No healing, though. Well, I thought maybe this would do something like heal, but it isn't doing that, so...
Time to shine.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. What's the big one do? The big one heals. Okay, good. And then I can break it up. The little itty bitty ones to help me fight. That's really nice. Oh, you could swap it back and forth. Okay, good, good. Good to know. I like her. Ooh.
Let the world come alive. How dare you?
Whoop.
The show begins.
That was cool. She's like a one-person army. This is cool. I think I might roll for her character. I mean, I love Navia and everything, but Karina's very unique in her own way. Then again, I don't know. Is this a C6 Fiorina? She might not be as great as all this. Let's take a look. Yeah. No. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is a C6. Wait a minute, is everybody else's health lower? Wait, does fighting as her weaken the other enemies? Or weaken your other characters? Oh, that's kind of a disadvantage. Goodness, that's such a disadvantage. Oops, I did not mean to do that. You know what? Let's test it out and see. How does it work? I don't think...
Time to shine.
Yeah, every time that she does her special. And that thing doesn't heal them, it only heals her.
Let my name echo in song.
Well, it only happens once, though. If you're still in battle, it keeps going.
Shower me with praise. Let the world come alive.
Kinda gotta keep it going, too. Alright, so... It also takes away half of my own health. I can get it back, though. Which is not that big of a deal.
How brilliant! Time to shine.
There's another one.
Let my name echo in song.
No, I don't think it takes away half of my health. Oh. Either that or it only does that for when you're not in this mode. I can't quite tell. It's hard to say whether or not I want her character, especially because I already have so many Hydro characters. She is really cool, though. Alright, let's try out the other characters. I already have tried out Baiju. He's kind of in the same boat where he has the whole... gives up some HP to do stuff.
Mind the side effects.
You've been a naughty boy. Let's spark things up a little.
Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse. The doctor will see you now.
Remember, health comes first.
He doesn't have very good
You're in for
aim.
a little shock. Blick, don't be such a brute. Come a little closer. Try not to enjoy this too much.
Seems like an emergency.
And then he has the disadvantage of always coughing so much. Oh, hello.
Not good.
shield protected me.
A bitter pill to swallow. Taking a turn for the better.
He is a very good healer, though.
Ring cutter.
Surrender and I'll be gentle.
Mind the side effects.
What kind of side effects would those be? Just like that Lisa said that, and then he said that. Kind of funny back to back. Alright, so this is another new character. Not that familiar with. Am I aiming the right way? Oh, no, I'm not. So, she deals like... She's like a ice magician, right? Yeah, I think that's what they're going for with her character. It feels like that. Yeah. Feels like a ice-themed Klee. Oh god, no, her thing... Well, not really an ice-themed Klee. More like an ice-themed, Oh, what is her name?
Breaking news.
What is her name? Dang it. I don't know why I keep wanting to call her Nvidia. I know that's not her name. That's a program. Truth bomb.
Let me weave you a verse.
Commencing cleanup.
Hard-hitting exclusive.
That's fun. To use her with a water character and get a whole bunch of them frozen in a single spot. That's pretty fun.
Say cheese. Ring cutter.
Do the thing. There we go.
Breaking news.
What is her name? The Sumeru Archon. Crap, I can't remember her name. Oh well. My brain just totally farted trying to think of it. Oh well. Oh man. I feel so dumb now. Because I'm getting so sleepy. Alright, last character to try out. And then all the tryouts are done. Not too fond of Bido. I have a few friends that love Bido, but I'm like, yeah, I don't. I just like characters that rely heavily on the opposition and their attack. Okay, fine, don't do shit. God damn.
Swirl, Mark 2. Let me weave you a verse. Midnight Phantasmagoria. Power that ended Python.
Oh, I thought he was gonna attack shit. Yeah, I'm not good at gauging that.
Witness the power of Gowa.
Animal hypostasis emulation. Animal test 6308.
Oh, hello.
No rest for the wicked. As you wish, mein Fräulein.
Ah, 100% missed.
Eyes on me! Back off!
Always fun. And there's some free stuff. Let's take a look here. How many prime gems do I have? 4,000. Can I part with some to do 110 pull? I think I'll do 110 pull. I think you guys deserve to see 110 pull, right? Let's do 110 pull. Ooh, we got a purple. Ah, man. I already have Cookie. And I haven't been using her because she's one of those sacrifice her HP characters. I didn't even recognize this silhouette at first. I was like, well, who is this? And then I was like, oh, damn it. Oh, well. That's weird. She's not even on the banner, is she? No. That's so weird. How the fuck did I get... How the fuck did I get Cookie? How did I get her character? She's not even on the banner. Some weird luck. I'm not going to try again. If I'm having that kind of bad luck, no way I'm trying again. Alright, well, let's give her her first constellation. Oh no, this is her second. Gee. There we go. Alright, well, that's all I really have for today. I guess I could say tomorrow I'm going to be playing Star Ocean. And I hope some of you come by to watch that stream too. I do enjoy that game, so it would be nice to have some friends with me when I take a trip down memory lane. Let's go ahead and get back to the title screen, give out my thank yous and stuff. Let's look at these notices first. I guess I forgot to do that. Sorry. There. Alright, back to the title. Okay. So, not that many thank yous to give out today. Over on YouTube, I have Vix. I want to give a shout out to Vix. Thank you so much for stopping by, even if it was just to say hello. And Time Lords, of course. It's always good seeing you. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out. And over on Twitch, thank you very much, 4K, for being here. I'm sorry it wasn't I wasn't playing Star Ocean, but I'm going to be playing it tomorrow, so do not worry. Get to hang out with me and watch it then. Alright. So to anyone watching in the archives, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and if not, then feel free to share the video with someone you think might enjoy it. Helps out the channel a lot, and if you have not subscribed to the channel already, then please feel free to subscribe. I will be doing a lot more Genshin playthroughs, so if you enjoyed this, then you're bound to enjoy a lot more of them. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more Genshin this week, but I'll definitely do something else next week. I still have all the new areas to explore and whatnot. Gotta find a bunch of waypoints, do all that, have a nice chill stream. But yeah, I will keep you all posted on my community tab over in YouTube. If you want to know what it is I'm going to be streaming next time. And if you want to join our community, I have a Discord available in both descriptions for both channels. So you can head over to this channel's description to check and see about the link to our Discord. We all have a good time over there. We hang out, we talk, we vent, we show off all of our cool new electronic doodads that we get, all the little art things that we make. It's a good time. You could check it out. Alright, everybody, I'm going to get to bed, and I will talk to you later. Good night, everyone.